Hey guys, back for round 3, and again we're on the play, which is great. This hand is... unfortunately we can't see what the Metamorphosis is going to draw into, but anyway, 4 land is too many anyway, to be honest. And this is unfortunately also a mulligan. Like, that was a Stomping Ground, perhaps, but yeah, let's just mulligan that. And this is actually pretty good, so we'll keep that. Doesn't matter about that. So we're looking to draw something like Burning-Tree Emissary or... okay, so the only deck I've seen play this land is the blue-black combo deck. So that should be interesting if we are playing against that. So far I think I'm 3-0 against that. I've played it in 3 side events at GPs, and yeah, it's been a success so far. And we'll play the Swiftspear first, because that will evolve the Experiment 1 up to 3/3. Yep. So Metamorphosis would be nice, just because you mean like you can go Metamorphosis into a Sacred Bushwhacker. Yeah, so this is just the combo deck. What it does is it uses a card that says you can't die, Angel's Grace I think it's called. So you can't die till the end of turn, then you add, I think it's Ad Nauseam, where you can keep revealing cards and you you draw the whole of your deck basically. And then there's a card that lets you discard as many lands as you want to make a spell basically deal as much damage, equal to double the amount of lands you discard. And people can keep discarding lands onto it to like make it go back and forth. But obviously, as they've drawn that whole deck, they can just keep redirecting it every time. I know some of these also play Phyrexian Unlife, which is an enchantment that says if you go below 0 life, every damage from then on is dealt as Infect, and which is really actually effective against this deck, because not only because it prevents it, like gives you an extra 10 health, but because it works as like a blanket where if they're on 1 health and you attack for 30, it still just reduces them to 0, and then Infect damage is dealt. So sometimes you have to do some working out of that, but besides that it's normally okay. Sometimes you have to do things like attackers command them, or like do that before the damage, just so that you can hit the threshold of 0 so that the rest is dealt as Infect. Just got a bit of deck manipulation so far, nothing crazy. I know this deck can be very explosive if it has a Lotus Bloom on turn 1, so then like on turn 3 they have a lot of access to a lot of mana. But it doesn't look like a terribly fast hand so far. However, 2 Sleight of Hands is very good. There we go, yeah, there's Phyrexian Unlife. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so unfortunately I am gonna have to cast this now, because that will be exactly 9 damage, so then the threshold next turn will be 10. Because if I don't surge it now, or sorry, if I don't even just cast it now, then he'll go down to 2, and then next combat he'll go just to 0, just because of how this card works. So yeah, it's actually correct to just cast this, and that's exactly 9. 3, 6, 9. So I think a key card in this matchup is Destructive Revelry, just because you can blow these up, you can blow the prisms up, you can blow Lotus Bloom up, and things like that. And I believe if you, so if you put your opponent down 0 and then you blow this up, then they do die as well, which is good. Oh, looks like they're going to try and well, I guess they don't really have too much choice. Oh, and they've probably just got the combo here. So I guess we can see their whole deck. Oh yeah, and sorry, so this is any damage dealt to you, and ad nauseam is you pay life, or sorry, you lose life, so it doesn't go into inflict damage, so they're on minus 52, and they just don't lose the game because of Phyrexian Unlife. Okay, so they have, I work out how many Pact of Negations they have. 2. Yep, and Lightning Storm. Okay, that was very quick on their part. That was pretty impressive. Just take out the Vexing Devils, put in some Revelries, and because they have Pact of Negation, you don't bother with the Deflecting Palm. Like, we saw that they had 2. So, like, unless we expect they're going to pull them out, which I definitely don't, it's not worth it. We're on the play, so I think we want to be as quick as possible. So, like, we can bring an Eidolo to, like, stop their deck manipulation. But if we play this turn too, it's just not as aggressive as playing 2 1-drops or a Burning-Tree into something. So for the Revelries, I'm just going to cut Tarka's commands. And for the Vexing Devils, we can bring in 2 Eidolons, I guess. But yeah, sometimes you can bring the Deflecting Palm because you get to see their whole deck. You can see if they run Pact of Negation. I've actually seen people not play it because there's not too much counter magic. Now that the Nahiri deck is more common than perhaps now they do. But yeah, the first time I played this deck, I just brought in Deflecting Palm because I didn't know what else to bring in, and I actually killed him with it because he didn't have any Pact of Negations. So I think that's everything. Yeah, I really think that they are just going to keep the Pact of Negation in for Deflecting Palm, but perhaps it's worth risking it anyway. Or is Stony Silence better? Activated abilities. How does that interact with different ones? No, I think Destructive Revelry is better because it can interact with Phyrexian Unlife actually. Yeah, that's definitely a big difference. Definitely want to play first. And that hand is a mulligan. Because we have a fetch, we don't even have a scry, so that's going to have to be a mulligan as well. Like, we can get Stomping Ground, like, unless we rip like double land, so turn 3 we can go Bushwhacker and summons. I don't see how we're going to win. I just don't think we have a clock fast enough with this hand. And this is actually a better hand, I think. We're going to have to put that on the bottom. Fortunately, it's a good sideboard card, but we need land. So now it's 9 cards in hand. I'll have a discard. Yeah, so he will discard, so he'll draw back up to 8. Sorry, I apologise for any noise in the background. That was the fan. It's really hot at the minute. I've turned that off though, so there shouldn't be any more background noise. Or are they going to discard, expect like a land or something? Yeah. That's pretty terrible. Again, we've had very unfortunate mulligans, but I mean that happens with this deck, unfortunately. Definitely not as much as, well, I haven't found it does as much as we have been getting, but okay, so like it can play a Bushwhacker just to play another body, and then it's just such a weak play, but I think it's still just better to have 3 damage every turn. It sucks, but until we get an extra land, we just have, like, that's just a Goblin Guidance, and it isn't enough pressure, nor is a Bushwhacker as well, but luckily if we get 2 lands, then we can do Devastating Summons and Bushwhacker, which is very, it's a lot of burst damage. Hey, so we do have more land in the deck. Oh. I guess you could say this is like where it would be an advantage to have a Temple Garden. Well, we can't even get Temple Garden. I guess we could, but doesn't matter. We're gonna get red-green. That's pretty good. Just get in for 3. Oh, almost missed it then. Done that before. Another sleight of hand. Wow. So yeah, if we draw another land, then we definitely have lethal next turn, which would be nice. Okay, for example, like that's fine. Destructive Revelry off the top would be perfect. Let's cast with kicker. That'd be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that put him to 0. But to be fair, he hasn't played like any mana rocks or anything like that. Oh, what's he got? Oh, okay, just fog. That's literally just fog. But yeah, he hasn't played any mana rocks or anything like that, so he's obviously got a slow start as well. I assume it's because he had this Reflecting Life in his hand, is why he kept. Name a card, reveal the top card of your library until you reveal the names card. Put that card into your hand, exile all the others, and you lose life equal to that. Okay. So it probably looks like he's just got the kill here. Yeah. Okay, that was a very unfortunate round. Don't really have much else to say, to be honest. Like, it happens, it's fine. I think that the amount of games where you win by going like Burning-Tree into like a Bushwhacker, or like just things like that, kind of equals out with the amount of mulligans. Obviously there's not like a strict correlation, but yeah, it's fine. Let's see, did they take out the Pact of Negation? Yes. Okay, so it's definitely something to bear in mind for futures, like future matchups of this, like as they took now. And sorry, I should just explain, like the Deflecting Palm doesn't actually kill them because they can't die, obviously. So what it does is it's their only win condition other than Laboratory Maniac, and they can't cast Laboratory Maniac in time. So they use Simian Spirit Guides to cast Lightning Storm. So yeah, when you Deflecting Palm it, you basically just say, I can't die this turn, and then they have one win, which is Laboratory Maniac. And you should just kill them on the backswing. So yeah, that was round 3, and we'll see you for the next round.